Oreo cookies have conquered the hearts of millions of people around the world, becoming an indispensable dish in everyday life. With constant creativity, Oreo has brought countless diverse versions, from classic cakes to new creations, creating a way for people to never feel bored. This cake has spread widely across countries, connecting all cultures and bringing endless joy to people of all ages. Oreo is a brand of sandwich cookie consisting of 2 cocoa biscuits or cookie pieces with a sweet fondant filling. It was introduced by Nabisco on March 6, 1912. Oreo cookies are available in over 100 countries. Many varieties of Oreo cookies have been produced, and limited edition runs have become popular in the 21st century. The Oreo biscuit was first developed and produced by the National Biscuit Company, today known as Nabisco, in 1912 at its Chelsea, New York City factory. Oreos are an imitation of the Hydrox chocolate cream-centered cookie introduced in 1908. But it outstripped Hydrox in popularity so largely that many believe Hydrox is an imitation of Oreo. Oreo has been the highest-selling cookie brand in the world since 2014. No one knows for sure how the Oreo cookie originally got its name, although the brand is a household name now. The street in New York City where Oreo originally debuted was renamed Oreo Way to honor where the very first cookie in the very first Nabisco factory was located. The original design on the face of the Oreo featured a wreath around the edge of the cookie and the name Oreo in the center. The first Oreo was sold on March 6, 1912, to a grocer in Hoboken, New Jersey. Through a series of corporate acquisitions, mergers, and splits, both Nabisco and the Oreo brand have been owned by Mondelez International since 2012. Oreo cookies are distributed worldwide through a variety of sales and marketing channels. As their popularity continues to grow, so too does the amount of distribution that comes with it. Overall, it is estimated that since the Oreo cookie's inception in 1912, over 450 billion Oreos have been produced worldwide. Overall, while the classic Oreo flavor is maintained across markets, there can be subtle differences in sweetness, chocolate intensity, and filling texture, as well as the availability of unique flavors that cater to regional tastes. Oreos were first introduced into Britain through the supermarket chain Sainsbury's. For several years, this was the only supermarket chain in the UK to stock the Oreo until May 2008, when Kraft decided to fully launch the Oreo across the whole of the UK. Oreo cookies were introduced onto the Indian market by Cadbury India in 2011. In Pakistan, Oreo is manufactured and sold by Continental Biscuits Limited under the LU brand. In Japan, Oreo and other Nabisco products were produced by Yamazaki Baking until Mondelez terminated their licensing deal in favor of moving production to China. A year later, Yamazaki introduced their version of Oreo called Noir, which is produced at the former Oreo factory in Ibaraki Prefecture. Most of the Oreo production was once carried out at the Hershey's factory in Hershey, Pennsylvania. By 2017, more than 40 billion Oreo cookies were being produced annually in 18 countries around the world. Oreo cookies for the Asian markets are manufactured in India, Indonesia, Bahrain, and China. In addition to their traditional design of 2 chocolate wafers separated by a crème filling, Oreo cookies have been produced in a multitude of different varieties since they were first introduced. Introduced in 1974, this variety has about double the normal amount of crème filling as the original. Available with various flavors of crème filling: original, chocolate, peanut butter, cool mint, and birthday cake. In the UK, these are called double crème Oreos and are only available in original flavor. The Golden Double Stuff Oreo featuring golden Oreo wafers with a double portion of original vanilla-flavored creme, was introduced in 2009. Football Oreo, gridiron football-shaped Oreo cookies, introduced in 1976. Big Stuff Oreo, a short-lived variety of the Oreo cookie, introduced in 1987 but discontinued in 1991, these were several times the size of a normal Oreo. Oreo Mini. Introduced in 1991, these are miniature bite-sized versions of the original Oreo cookie. After being discontinued in the late 1990s, they were re-released in 2000. Oreo Cakesters, introduced in 2007, Oreo Cakesters are Oreo's version of a whoopie pie. Soft chocolate snack cakes with vanilla, chocolate or peanut butter creme in the middle. They were discontinued in 2012. They returned in 2022. Mega Stuff Oreo, released in February 2013. The Mega Stuff variety is similar to Double Stuff, but with even more white creme filling. They come in both chocolate and golden wafer varieties. Oreo Thins, introduced in July 2015, this is a thin version of the original Oreo cookie. Thins come in both chocolate and golden wafer varieties. Chocolate Oreo, an Oreo cookie with chocolate creme filling. Mint Oreo, a variety of Oreo with 2 chocolate wafers separated by a mint-flavored creme filling. The Most Stuff, introduced in January 2019, an initially limited edition Oreo with approximately 4 times the amount of creme filling of a standard Oreo. Gluten-free, introduced in January 2021. Available in both traditional and double stuff varieties. It's hard to resist the satisfying crunch and creamy filling of an Oreo biscuit. But have you ever wondered how these delectable treats are made? Join us as we take a step-by-step look at the production line of Oreo biscuits, from the mixing of the ingredients to the packaging of the finished product. The first step in the production of Oreo biscuits is the gathering of the ingredients. The ingredients of Oreo cookies have remained largely unchanged from the original, although numerous alternative varieties and flavors have emerged over time. The classic Oreo cookie is made using 11 main ingredients: sugar, unbleached enriched flour, high oleic canola oil or palm oil, cocoa powder, high fructose corn syrup, leavening agent, baking soda, cornstarch, salt, soy lecithin, vanilla, and chocolate. These ingredients are carefully measured and sifted to ensure that they are of the highest quality and consistency. Once the ingredients are gathered, they are transferred to a large mixing basin. In order to create the delectable Oreo dough, the first step in the production line involves mixing the ingredients. This is done in large industrial mixers capable of handling massive quantities of ingredients. The mixing process begins by combining flour, sugar, cocoa powder, and other essential components. These dry ingredients are then blended thoroughly to ensure a homogeneous mixture. Next, liquids such as water, oil, and vanilla extract are added to the mix. The entire blending process takes place under controlled conditions to maintain consistency and quality. Once the dough is mixed, it undergoes a rigorous testing process to ensure it meets the perfect standards set by Oreo. The dough is checked for its texture, color, taste, and other attributes. Any deviation from the desired specifications will result in immediate adjustments to achieve the ideal consistency. After the mixing process, the dough is ready to be transformed into those signature Oreo cookies. This is achieved through a process known as extrusion. The dough is passed through a series of rollers that flatten it to a precise thickness. flattened dough then enters a rotary mold that shapes it into the classic circular Oreo form. The mold imprints the distinctive pattern on one side of the cookie, while leaving the other side smooth. The excess dough is recycled back into the mixing process. The cut cookies are transferred to a conveyor belt and baked in an oven at a specific temperature and time to achieve the desired crispness and color. The aroma of freshly baked Oreo cookies fills the air as they emerge from the ovens, tempting anyone nearby with their irresistible scent. After baking, the cookies are cooled to room temperature on cooling conveyors to prepare them for filling. To assemble the cookies, a layer of the cream filling is mechanically dispensed onto one side of a cookie while other cookies move along on the production line. Once the cream filling is applied, a second cookie is gently pressed on top to create the iconic sandwich structure. The cookies are aligned impeccably to ensure consistency and symmetry, showcasing the precision of the production line. With the cookies and cream perfectly combined, the next stage of the production line involves packaging. The sandwiched cookies are carefully and systematically transferred onto a conveyor belt that leads to the packaging area. Here, they are arranged in rows and columns before being placed inside the Oreo branded packaging. The packaging process involves robotic arms that delicately pick up the cookies and place them in the designated compartments of the packaging. The packages are then sealed to maintain freshness and protect the cookies from any external factors that could alter their quality. Oreo production lines are designed to efficiently package thousands of cookies per minute, meeting the high demand for these popular treats. In this video, I'm happy to share with you the amazing Oreo cake and the fun process of making it. Thank you for taking your valuable time to watch the video. If you like it, don't hesitate to like and subscribe to the channel to motivate me to make the next great videos. Once again, thank you very much and see you in the next videos. Wishing you always happy and full of energy.
Cheese has a long and varied history, with origins that can be traced back thousands of years. Cheese is believed to have appeared in the Neolithic period, about 8,000 to 10,000 years ago, when humans began to domesticate animals and obtain milk from cows, goats, and chisels. One of the reasons fonts appeared was the need for long-term milk storage in dry climates, when milk could spoil quickly. Cheese is a type of dairy product produced in a range of flavors, textures, and forms by coagulation of the milk protein casein. It comprises proteins and fat from milk, usually the milk of cows, buffalo, goats, or sheep. Over 1,000 types of cheese exist, produced in various countries. Their styles, textures, and flavors depend on the origin of the milk, whether they have been pasteurized, the butterfat content, the bacteria and mold, the processing, and how long they have been aged. Cheese is valued for its portability, long shelf life, and high content of fat, protein, calcium, and phosphorus. Cheese is more compact and has a longer shelf life than milk. Hard cheeses, such as Parmesan, last longer than soft cheeses. With its diversity and many applications in life, cheese has gradually become known and increasingly popular around the world. Europe is considered the cradle of cheese-making, with countries such as France, Italy, the Netherlands, Germany, and Switzerland famous for their distinctive cheeses. These cheeses are not only served in daily cuisine, but are also cultural and commercial symbols of these countries. In addition to Europe, cheese also appears in Middle Eastern and Asian cultures, although the cheese-making process in these regions may differ from that in Europe. For example, feta cheese in Greece, labneh cheese in the Middle East, and paneer cheese in India are popular cheeses in these regions. In the 19th century, the cheese industry developed strongly thanks to inventions in food processing technology. Cheese is produced on a larger scale, and pasteurization methods help extend shelf life and increase product safety. During the 20th century, industrial cheeses such as processed cheese, began to become popular, especially in North America and Western countries. These cheeses are easy to use and can be stored for a long time. In 2021, world production of cheese from whole cow milk was 22.2 million tons, with the United States accounting for 28% of the total, followed by Germany, France, Italy, and the Netherlands as secondary producers. Today, cheese is not only a traditional dish, but also an important part of the global food industry. Cheeses such as cheddar, mozzarella, brie, parmesan, and Gouda are widely consumed around the world and continue to be popular ingredients in many dishes. France, Iceland, Finland, Denmark, and Germany were the highest consumers of cheese in 2014, averaging 25 kilograms per person per annum. Cheese production is a delicate process and requires precision in each step to create a high-quality final product. So, how is cheese mass produced? Let's continue watching the video. Harvesting milk is the main raw material for cheese production. Cow, goat, or sheep milk is commonly used. After being harvested, milk will be taken to the factory for processing. Small cheese factories accept either morning milk, which is richer, evening milk, or both. Because it is generally purchased from small dairies which don't pasteurize, this milk contains the bacteria necessary to produce lactic acid, one of the agents that triggers curdling. The cheesemakers let the milk sit until enough lactic acid has formed to begin producing the particular type of cheese they're making. Depending on the type of cheese being produced, the cheesemakers may then heat the ripening milk. This process differs slightly at large cheese factories, which purchase pasteurized milk and must consequently add a culture of bacteria to produce lactic acid. Separating the curds from the whey. The next step is to add animal or vegetable rennet to the milk, furthering its separation into curds and whey. Once formed, the curds are cut both vertically and horizontally with knives. In large factories, huge vats of curdled milk are cut vertically using sharp, multi-bladed wire knives reminiscent of oven racks. The same machine then agitates the curds and slices them horizontally. If the cutting is done manually, the curds are cut both ways using a large two-handled knife. Soft cheeses are cut into big chunks, while hard cheeses are cut into tiny chunks. After cutting, the curds may be heated to hasten the separation from the whey, but they are more typically left alone. When separation is complete, the whey is drained. pressing the curds. Moisture must then be removed from the curds, although the amount removed depends on the type of cheese. For some types with high moisture contents, the whey draining process removes sufficient moisture. Other types require the curds to be cut, heated, and/or filtered to get rid of excess moisture. To make cheddar cheese, for example, cheesemakers cheddar or finely chop the curd. To make hard, dry cheeses such as Parmesan, cheesemakers first cheddar and then cook the curd. Regardless, if the curds are to be aged, they are then put into molds. Here, they are pressed to give the proper shape and size. Soft cheeses such as cottage cheese are not aged. Wrapping natural cheese. Some cheeses may develop a rind naturally as their surfaces dry. Other rinds may form from the growth of bacteria that has been sprayed on the surface of the cheese. Still, other cheeses are washed, and this process encourages bacterial growth. In place of or in addition to rinds, cheeses can be sealed in cloth or wax. For local eating, this may be all the packaging that is necessary. However, large quantities of cheese are packaged for sale in distant countries. Such cheeses may be heavily salted for export, such as Roquefort, or sealed in impermeable plastic or foil. Aging the cheese. At this stage, the cheese may be inoculated with a flavouring mould, bathed in brine, or wrapped in cloth or hay, before being deposited in a place of the proper temperature and humidity to age. Some cheeses are aged for a month, some for up to several years. Aging sharpens the flavour of the cheese. For example, cheddar aged more than 2 years is appropriately labelled extra sharp. Making and wrapping processed cheese. Edible yet inferior cheeses can be saved and made into processed cheese. Cheeses such as Emmental, commonly called Swiss, Gruyere, similar to Swiss, Colby or cheddar are cut up and very finely ground. After this powder has been mixed with water to form a paste, other ingredients such as salt, fillers, emulsifiers, preservatives and flavourings are added. The mixture is then heated under controlled conditions. While still warm and soft, the cheese paste is extruded into long ribbons that are sliced. The small sheets of cheese are then put onto a plastic or foil sheet and wrapped by a machine. Packaging and distribution. Once the aging process is complete, if applicable, the cheese will be packaged and stored in cold conditions to maintain quality. The cheese products are then distributed to the market. In this video, I'm happy to share with you the amazing Oreo cake and the fun process of making it. Thank you for taking your valuable time to watch the video. If you like it, don't hesitate to like and subscribe to the channel to motivate me to make the next great videos. Once again, thank you very much and see you in the next videos. Wishing you always happy and full of energy.